Is wider better? Real estate agents always want wider photos, so is the 10mm going to replace your 16 to 35? I'm going to show you some real world examples from shoots I've done for actual clients, and you can decide if you want this lens in your kit. Spoiler, you want this lens in your kit. I already did a full review on the lens. This video is going to focus on shooting real estate with this lens, since a couple people did ask for that, and it's a big reason as to why I bought the lens. I bought this lens with my own money. This is not a sponsored video. Nobody's paying me to say anything. There isn't even an affiliate link in the description. Anyway, I did a shoot just now, so I'm going to walk you through my shooting process using this lens because it is a little bit different. And then we'll come back, edit a few photos, and you get to see the results. So I went through and shot the whole house already with the 16 to 35. Shot the exterior, interior, already shot everything. What I want to do is put the 10 on there and bring you along, show you kind of my thought process while using the 10. You get so much more in the shot, and you have to be a little bit more thoughtful about your shot. A lot of times I find it works better if you do a straight on shot. And there's a lot of times where you just can't use it. You just can't use the 10mm. The start on there, honestly, I really like the way this thing is built. Random thing, the lens cap works perfectly fine with this lens, but once you try to put it on a different lens, it just doesn't fit. Here's the marker, and I don't know if that's really showing up, but there's this gap. You gotta really push it in. You don't even have to turn it at that point. But man, that thing is tight. Tight! So I did already go throughout the whole property and shoot interior exterior with the 16 to 35, so I already know where I want to use the 10. With this lens, I really recommend you take the lens cap off. I shoot all my interiors at f8, ISO 100, and just work with the shutter speed until I get the exposure the way I want it to be. Since it's so wide, sometimes the level in the camera will tell me that it's level, but the verticals won't be vertical. You can tell you need some form of adjustment. Let's get it from the corner. I know we all love this corner shot. I'm gonna get a lot of stuff in this shot. That trash can is in the shot, so I'm gonna have to, I really don't wanna move it, so I'm just gonna move the camera a little bit. And would you look at that, it's in the shot even more now. So I'm gonna have to move it. Okay, I've moved it. Man, y'all got me at this property longer than I should be here. Just trying to get these shots for you. This is actually really cool because from this one spot, I don't remember how it looked on the 16. I'm gonna have to pull that up right now during editing. But from this one spot, I see the fireplace, I see the TV, I see the couches, I see the dining room. Like everything just shows up from this from this 10mm. Let's get a shot like this real quick. See, personally, I don't like this shot, and this is probably not one I'm gonna deliver. Well, first of all, I'm not centered with the couch, and that's gonna bother me. You'll see how warped this table is. Dude, it looks ridiculous. I gotta get a shot on my iPhone just to show you guys. From here, with the 10mm, I mean, look at this table. This table is clearly one normal table, even with, here you go, that's not the wide angle anymore. Look at how it looks with the 10mm. That is called distortion. And I know the whole thing is 0D, 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 but there is distortion, and that's what it looks like. It is straight, but it's still distorted. Over here this might be a viable shot. What I'm gonna do is put the camera in the corner instead of myself. So here's an example of what I was talking about earlier. You're in the way, dude. You're just... So the level on the camera is showing that it is level. This wall on the left side of the frame is clearly not vertical. Sometimes you just gotta walk around and see what looks good. See, I don't like that. But this is also not good. So you start to see very quickly that you really can't use this lens just anywhere. This is not gonna replace your 16 to 35. It's not gonna replace your 12 to 24 if you got that. It's not really gonna replace anything, but it is gonna add to your kit, and there are a lot of times where you're gonna wanna use it. Let's see if I could get straight on shot of this cooktop Gen Air. I mean, it looks high-end. I don't know if it is or not, but it's got that Viking look to it. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get the shot like this, a little off center. I'm gonna crop it later. You know what? Here's what we're actually gonna do. We're gonna put this here, and now we got our straight on shot. This would be impossible with the 16 to 35. See, if I put it here, I'm gonna take this photo so you can see. You gotta just see how the fridge looks in this. It just looks so stretched. Again, it is distorted. Again, it is a 10 mil, so you're not gonna have, you just can't avoid it. Let's go over here to this bedroom. Bedroom with a G. I have a friend who says sandwich. Sandwich. Since this lens is so wide, you can tell right off the bat if something is not level, if something is not centered, all that kind of stuff. Immediately you know something is wrong. See, I want the shot where the bed is centered. See, it works here. It works here. Let's go to the bathroom. Oh, look. I kind of could do a straight-on shot here. That's not bad, I think. I can't really see anything from here. All right, we'll see how that looks later. That is my thought process while shooting real estate with the Laowa 10 mil. Let's go back to my desk and let's get editing. I've already gone ahead and imported the photos. I've done the merge and I've already edited all the photos with the 16:35. So we can compare it to the 10 mil. And I also want to just edit 1 or 2 photos with you just so you get an idea of what it's like to work on those. So this photo is one I took with the 10 mil. Oof, I didn't realize how bad of a shape these cabinets were, but that's not my job. So first thing I do is the lens corrections. I just updated Lightroom. Today is January 22. Even though they added more lens profiles, they did not add the Laowa 10 mil. So what I've been doing is going to Venus Optics, which is who makes Laowa, and I've been selecting the 2.8 0D. I figured this is as close as it's gonna get. You can immediately tell the difference in the corners. See, this is without it. It's much darker. There is a serious vignette going on. So once we do that, we're going to level it. This looks actually pretty good. Now this one did have the island right behind where the camera is, so if we had a tighter lens, like the 16:35 was not going to work in this situation. This already looks pretty good, to be honest. The camera is low. It should have been a little bit higher so we don't see the bottom of the cabinets. That's pretty much it, honestly. So here it is with the 10, and here it is with the 16. This is okay. It'd be a little better if the camera was higher up, but this one's just much better. You can see the whole bed. You can see the huge closets on the left and that we have an exit to the backyard on the right side. With this one, you can't tell any of that stuff, and I also left the closet open over here. This one's not bad. I do like that it shows the hallway and that it's a connecting space. I don't really like that I've left the door like this. Yeah, I guess you could have opened it. This one's not bad. I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to keep this one too. This, I've already done the edit. The before was like that. And even though I've used the level in the camera, you can see how horribly unlevel it is. Not only is it lopsided, it's also not vertical. So I used the guided function along with other edits. So this is where I've landed. Here we are. This bathroom. Hold on. First thing I notice is a dot right here. This bathroom is a great example of when I know I'm going to use the 10 mil right off the bat. And just to give you an idea, this is how it looked with the 16:35. The composition's a little bit different. This property, I just went through the whole thing, shot it with the 16:35, and then switched to the 10. And I think that is the workflow. That way you know already where you're going to use the 10. You're not going to use it all the time. And constantly switching from 16:35 to 10 is just takes a lot of time, and it's a hassle. It's not worth it. Anyway, let's go look at another property. So this is one I've done previously. Is this 10? Yeah, I could tell it's 10 just by looking at how these stairs look. 16, 10, not too crazy on this one. I guess if I turn the camera a little bit more to the left to get more of the door, just to show that this is what you see when you walk in. This was part of a closet that I was not expecting. This is like, on the 16, this doesn't even look like something you would deliver or that I would deliver. Look at it compared to the 10. You're really capturing the space with the 10. I think it speaks for itself. I don't need to be over here yapping. But you can tell the color difference also. The colors are a little bit different than my 16:35. I have the Zeiss f4 for a Sony E-mount. And with the 10 mil, you can really see that the corners are much darker than the center of the image. The problem I'm having with Lightroom is that there is no lens correction profile for the 10 mil. The closest is there is a Laowa 12 mil that's also 0D, and that's been working. It's just more annoying because it's not automatic. You do need to, there's a little bit of a workaround. You can apply it to one photo and then copy paste it to the rest. Here we are with the 10 on the left and the 16 on the right. Now this was the case where I took the shot with the 16 and without touching the camera or the tripod, I put the 10 on and we got the photo on the left. This is the photo where the agent said if somebody sees what's on the left side here and they come to look at the property, they're going to be a little disappointed. And I see what she means. I'm not upset. I think it works great for this kind of photo. In the bathroom, again, see, this is a 10. This would not have worked with the 16. The 10 on the left, the 16 on the right. Honestly, in this case, I think the 16 looks better. I did use it to shoot real estate video just very briefly. It gave me a hard time, so I kind of just gave up on it. It was doing this crazy like focus breathing thing. I don't know if it was because the home was vacant and there was nothing to focus on, but it just kept breathing focus. I'll show you the video right now. That really kind of got me frustrated and I didn't want to use the lens anymore. I did still walk through the whole property and shoot it with the 10 mil as much as I could, but with the focus breathing, it was really, really annoying. Also, being as wide as it is, getting the verticals vertical is a bit of a challenge. If you're using a Ronin, put it on the PF mode. It's going to keep your verticals vertical. However, when you set it to that mode, you can see in the viewfinder that it's not actually vertical. It's like slightly down or slightly up, and you gotta use the joystick just to adjust that. So should you pick up the 10? Ultimately, it's up to you. I really like using it, especially in those tight bathrooms, walk-in closets, stuff like that. I think it's very useful to have. But ultimately, it's up to you. I hope I was able to give you enough info for you to make that decision, and I'll see you next time.